Here we go, the Buccaneers have just started. We've got 5220, timed it really well right to committee boat. And the blue boat right to leeward up. Good start up here. I'm noticing on the blue Buccaneer, we've got the skipper sitting in and the crew's sitting up. I actually prefer the other way around. I think skipper sitting up, you get a little better vision of the telltales and the jib of the water. And by the crew sitting down, they can see under the sail a little bit better. So I'm looking at the white boat right here. You can see that the skipper's sitting up high. Crew is right in there tight under the nice and low. Where they can see what's going on. There's a nice port starboard right here. Now, of course, if you're on starboard and you want to stay on starboard, it's totally acceptable to let port go in front of you, to wave them across. So, usually you just say, you got it, or you can cross with a wave of the hand. It's very important to do a wave of the hand. That's totally an acceptable tactic. And then starboard just goes below port. Right in here is perfect. All right, look at the sail trim on this Buccaneer here. Noticing the jib is very open. The top of the jib's got a lot of curve to it, so you're losing power there. I noticed the leech is shaking. I don't know if there's a leech line. Sometimes the sail has a little string in it. You can take that shaking out. Usually happens as the sail gets a little older. Noticing the mainsail is very tight. Dave turned left a little bit. And the main leech is very tight here. You can see it's almost got no twist at all up top, and so the sail is stalled. There's actually a telltale up there, and if you see the telltale, it's dropping straight down. It's basically saying, you are choking me and I am dead. So the top of this sail needs to be released a little bit so there's some twist, so there's some flow, so that top telltale is streaming at least half the time, and the jib needs to come in a little bit. I'm also noticing the boom's not on the center line. And you always want your boom on center line. If you have a traveler, I think there probably is a traveler on these boats, the traveler will be above center line, which will put the boom on center line. All right, picking up the action, the Leeward Mark. We got the Buccaneers coming in. The first two Buccaneers are kind of broken away from the pack. We got a laser in the midst here. A lot of friction going into that launcher in there. Let's watch our heel coming around the mark. We want to heel to leeward. It's the leeward heel that helps the boat turn up. And that's the crew. So the crew's got to do their, again, another reason to get the spinnaker down early, so the crew can be to leeward as we round the mark. Good job on that back boat there. And rolling into a clearing tack. A nice drop right there. So, issue here is the Buccaneer has to give room to the Santana. And then the boat coming upwind is on starboard. The 5220 needs to slow down by putting their bow down and then round on the inside so the crew can touch the mark. I'm noticing the Santana's pole's still up, so they're not going to be able to go on the wind here, so don't get your bow stuck on the outside of them. So a little stuck there, you got a little nervous, so again you got to think ahead and get your bow down so there's no concern, so then you can just come in. So look at all that distance you lost in 5220 by kind of getting stuck alongside the Santana there. That situation was developing for over a minute. So there you go, you gotta look ahead. The game of sailing is played 30 seconds ahead of the boat. Keep your bow down, let them play through, and off you go. All right, picking up number 5239 of the Buccaneers. I got the swashbuckling sabers on the spinnaker there. So get ready to suck it down the hole. So we're sort of at the mark here, troops. So the spinnaker should be down now. There it goes, well done. You know, I always drop it early, and then as you get better and better, you can drop it later and later. That's the, you know, the whole game is to keep it up as long as possible, but still have a good rounding. Now clearly there's no other boats around here. There's a big gap here, so not an issue. I like the way the crew's down to leeward, helm's down. But the problem here, you guys, is the sails got pulled in super tight. So that main was in bone tight even before you rounded. And then the crew should have stayed down to leeward. You know, it's very light air, so the crew needs to be sensitive to their weight and stay down to leeward, maybe all the way down that leeward side there. So then the skipper can stay to windward. So good drop, good turn, over trimmed on the main, and then the boat got a little too upright coming out on the exit. So here we have a buccaneer shooting to try to make the mark. You're allowed to get ahead to it. I think they might be a little past head to wind there, so they have no rights. They got to be a little careful here, so they're taking a pretty big chance. They haven't touched the mark yet. They haven't touched the mark yet. Nice little piece of sailing. We got sound effects and everything. And off we go. Now it's time to get the spinnaker up, the pole up. Don't know the buccaneers, but I'm not sure why we can't put the poles up before we get to the mark. Maybe there's a reason. But nobody had their pole up before they got to the mark, and they spent a lot of time trying to raise the spinnaker with the pole down, and it's, you know, we just basically have one spinnaker going already. So I'll need to check in on that to see if there's a way to, if you get that pole up before the mark, then the set becomes really easy.